critical for China's energy security. Nearly about 80% of China's imports pass through this region. 80. They transit the sea lanes controlled by other states, states that also have to deal with China's bullying, especially along the Malacca Strait. And this narrow stretch of water connects the Andaman Sea with the South China Sea. It is one of the most important shipping lanes in the world. More than 100,000 vessels, in fact, pass through it annually. They account for an estimated 25% of the world's trade, and if we speak of China, it accounts to nearly about 60% of China's trade, which flows through the Malacca Strait. This makes this stretch a lifeline of sorts for the Chinese economy. So what does China do? It tries to militarize the area around the Malacca Strait so that it can dominate the passage of trade along this route. Beijing calls this plan a string of pearls strategy. It is establishing naval bases in the Indian Ocean region, and it is of course trying to plan the entire Indian Ocean region with the pearls as it describes them. These bases will allow China to in fact maintain contingents far from home. Station warships control shipping routes, dictate trade routes, and not to mention to also spy on adversaries such as India. This is where India's new naval base comes into play. To start with, this base will of course ensure freedom of navigation in this region. It also would help countries deal with China's perpetual bullying. Secondly, it could be used to keep a check on the Chinese espionage. Numerous spy ships that traverse through this region is another thing that India can keep a check on. And thirdly, in case of a conflict, it also could be used to cut off the vital shipping routes to China. But for this to happen, other South Asian nations will have to be on board. The question is this: will they in fact want to get on board with this? The answer is why not? You see, despite the veneer of cordial ties, almost every nation in the Indian Ocean region has an ongoing dispute with the Chinese regime. Now, as we speak of Malaysia, it has differences with China over the ownership of the Spratly Islands, and also with China's repeated incursions in the Malaysian airspace and repeated breaches of sovereignty in Malaysia's exclusive economic zone. Now, if we speak of the Philippines, it has an ongoing fishing dispute with China. Chinese vessels repeatedly target Filipino boats, and if we speak of Vietnam, it is the same story that repeats. Hanoi and Beijing often clash. Often claims of sovereignty become a bone of contention for several islands in the South China Sea. But despite these disputes, most of these countries have in fact tried to maintain cordial ties with China. And that's because they don't have a choice. They lack the means and also the clout to counter China's might. And this makes India the only country that can remotely counter China, and it has an equally a huge armed force and equally a huge economic clout to hit China where it hurts the most. Now, this new naval base at the Great Nicobar Island will checkmate the Chinese ambitions to try and creep into the Indian Ocean. And at this moment, China simply has no answer to the manner in which India has created a sort of a chokehold for the Chinese in one of the most important trade routes for them. Now, has America finally joined the Ukraine war? This is a question for which there is no immediate or an easy answer. An American drone, in fact, went down in the Black Sea this morning. What happened depends on whom you ask. The United States claims that the drone was in fact struck by a Russian jet. A Su-27 fighter collided with the UAV, and the drone's propeller reportedly was hit. So the American forces were forced to bring down the drone.
Two Russian jets dumped fuel on an unmanned U.S. MQ-9 aircraft conducting routine operations in international airspace. jet intercepted and hit our MQ-9 aircraft, resulting in a crash. This hazardous episode is a part of a pattern of aggressive, risky, and unsafe actions by Russian pilots in international airspace. So make no mistake, the United States will continue to fly and to operate wherever international law allows. And it is incumbent upon Russia to operate its military aircraft in a safe and professional manner.
American MQ-9 drone was flying close to Crimea. It was flying in a restricted airspace and with its transponders switched off so that the Russian radars could not detect the drone. What happened next? The Russia scrambled its jets. The drone made a pretty sharp maneuver. It lost control and also reportedly lost altitude and crashed into the Black Sea. Basically, Russia is saying that it did not attack the American drone, but the Americans claim that the Russian fighter jet was actually dropping fuel on the drone and also attacked its propeller, which is what resulted in this drone crashing.
I want to underline that the Russian fighter jets did not use their onboard weapons. They did not come into contact with the unmanned aerial vehicle and returned safely to the base.
So Russia is now pointing the finger clearly at America and it is asking what was a military drone doing so close to the battle zone. Now we're not taking sides here, we're just telling you all sides of the story because at this point of time it is simply impossible to ascertain whether it is the Americans who are lying or is it the Russians who are lying. Now, in spite of everything that has been reported on this story, we also need to tell you a little bit of a history about this drone. This is the MQ-9 Reaper. This is not the first time that it has made news. Now, this is the same drone that the Americans used to assassinate Iran's top military general Qasem Soleimani at the Baghdad airport. This drone that we're talking about, MQ-9 Reaper, is called the world's deadliest. It is said to be about 11 meters long. It has a wingspan of over 22 meters and it is capable of carrying out precision strikes. This is not an ordinary surveillance drone. This is a drone that carries as many as about 16 Hellfire missiles. It can fly at an altitude of over 50,000 feet. It can hover above targets for well over 24 hours. It is remotely operated by a two-person team, and the United States has used this drone in military mission after military mission to target several nations, including Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Yemen, to just name three. In fact, the Houthis of Yemen had shot down one of these drones in 2019. By 2018, the Americans had flown the MQ-9 Reaper for over 325,000 hours, and 91% of this was in fact linked not for surveillance, but for combat operations. These drones were in fact previously called Predator B drones. That was the nickname that they had, Predator drones. And today America is telling the world that this Predator drone was actually carrying out an innocent surveillance operation near the battle zone. Now, Russia has a question for America. What would Washington do if a Russian strike drone were to suddenly appear near New York or San Francisco? How would the United States Air Force react to it? Now, that is something to think about. And also, here's something else. What was America trying to prove by flying its MQ-9 Reaper drone so close to the theater of war? From where I'm sitting, it looks like the farce of a proxy war is now over. The analysts will tell you that all this while Ukraine was in fact a proxy war, and it was America that was in fact firing off Ukraine's shoulders. Washington, of course, is not a fan of this analysis. It will tell you that the United States is only providing weapons to Ukraine and nothing more and nothing less. But now, the American drone being downed in the Black Sea is something that is going to raise a lot of questions. It is in fact going to raise a question as to why America's combat drone was anywhere near the battle zone. The question is this: has the United States now started aiding Ukraine militarily? Is it now an active participant? Because the United States now needs to come clean on this.